Now we are going to start about the traveling question and answers. These questions have been taken from the IELTS past papers, and these are related to the question that we have seen in the past IELTS papers. And learning of these questions will really help the students to cover up the part 1 and the part 3 of IELTS speaking interview. Now we are going to discuss about the questions about the traveling. In the earlier videos, we have discussed page 1, page 2, page 3. And in those videos, we have discussed like questions on the topics like free time, like your town, reading, eating and food, and holidays. Okay, so we have earlier discussed these topics like free time, like school, like family, and question about you. These questions are really helpful for you for your IELTS speaking part 1 and part 2. And these all questions are with answers, okay? And just like this, we are not going going to start about speaking questions. And here is the topic, traveling. What do people learn from traveling? In the IELTS question, they always ask you with when and why and about the reason. So like this, we can say that what do people learn from traveling and why? People learn from traveling because when you move from one place to other place, you have opportunity to meet new people. You come across the new attitudes and the new ways of life. And in this way, you learn a lot from traveling. Do you think the growth of international tourism is a good thing, and why? Of course, the growth of international tourism is really positive thing, because when the international tourism will develop, ultimately this is a good source of business for every country. When the people around move in different countries for the purpose of tourism, so this generates a lot of revenue for every country, and ultimately this is really a good activity and a positive activity. Tourism and culture. How has tourism changed the way people in your country live? I think tourism changed the way people live in my country, because when the foreigners visit here, the local people observe their attitude, their behavior of life, their ways of life, and ultimately they try to copy them, and this leads to some sort of change in the ways of life. How should tourists behave when they visit your country? The tourists should visit politely and in a proper way when they visit any country, because they are representing their country, they are representing their attitude towards life and their behavior as well. Ways of traveling. What do you think is the best way for a tourist to travel if they want to learn about your country? In my view, the visitors to my country should visit on their own conveyance when they come in my country, because in this way they can visit a lot of places, they can stop anywhere, they can observe different places, they can enjoy different places when they visit on their own conveyance in my country. What are the advantages and disadvantages of traveling by plane? Well, obviously, the traveling by plane is always really good because you can travel within shortest possible time on aeroplane, and this is an easy way to travel. And the most dangerous disadvantages of traveling by plane is that sometimes there is air crash, and ultimately everyone die whenever such events take place. So this is the most dangerous disadvantages of traveling by plane. Attitude to tourism. Why do you think people like to travel to different places in their free time? As a matter of fact, people like to visit variety of countries in their free time, or the variety of places in their free time, because in free time everyone wants to enjoy, and he wants to pass his free time in really good way. So people like to travel or visit different places in such situations to enjoy a lot. How do you see tourism changing in your country in the future? I think tourism changing in my country in the future because now the latest facilities are available for tourism, and the government and the private sector are working together to promote tourism. So ultimately, it is going to change in the future, and it will be more advanced and easy to travel around in my country. Why is it important to protect the countryside? According to my observation, it is really important to protect the countryside because it is the most beautiful part of the natural world of any country. So this is really important to protect countryside, especially these are the rural areas and having more greenery and more beauty. So it is prior to be protected at any cost. In what ways is the countryside in danger in your country? According to my experience, in my country, countryside is really in a great danger because nowadays new colonies are being built after removing the countryside, and ultimately the greenery is vanishing day by day. So in this way, in my country, the countryside is in really a great danger. Historical building and monuments. Why are historic buildings and monuments important to a city? As far as my observation is concerned, I would say that in my country and in any country, historical buildings and monuments are really important for a city, because having such places, a lot of people visit that city, even tourists from all around the world visit that city or the country, and this generates business activities and revenue for that city. So ultimately, these places are really important for a city. Is it better to keep old buildings or build new modern ones? In my view, we should keep old buildings and also build the new buildings, because the old buildings are showing our history, our art, our architect, and on the basis of this, we should try to build the new buildings that will show our modern architect and modern ways of living life. So both are very important, and both should be kept to make a better arrangement of life. What preventive measures government is taking to protect places of natural beauty from pollution? Well, obviously, government is taking a lot of protective measures for natural beauty from pollution. They are having seminars, they are having some lectures, they are using social media, they are using print media to make people aware about the protection of natural beauty from pollution. Who should pay for the protection of environment from pollution caused by the chimneys of factories? I think the owners of the factories should pay for this because they are the responsible for environment pollution, and ultimately they are genuinely responsible for paying to protect the pollution, to avoid from the pollution. Do the people prefer to visit places of natural beauty or places like having monument or the historical buildings? Yes, of course, people like and prefer to visit such places because historical buildings give them a lot of knowledge about the past history, and the monument also tell them about different historical aspects of a country. So people prefer to visit, people like to visit such places. Ideas to go in your free time. What do people do in your town in their free time? Well, in my town, people in their free time like to visit restaurants, and some people like to visit some parks and to play there some games like badminton or cricket, and to walk on the track in their free time. Where can they go out for entertainment or to enjoy themselves? Well, people can go to some parks or some restaurant to enjoy themselves, because these are the best places for enjoyment and for eating entertainment, and for visiting some places like parks or some places of natural beauty. Which do you prefer, eating in restaurant or eating at home? In my view, I would like to prefer eating in restaurants, because in my day-to-day life, I eat at home, and to have some change and to have some fun and pleasure, I would like to prefer to eat in a restaurant, because it gives some change and a variety of taste as well. Which are the best places in eat out in your country? Well, in my country, there are a lot of places to eat out. There is Cheesiest restaurant, and there is Bulbul Hotel for traditional food, and there is Lasani restaurant, and all these places are really best for eating out because there is a variety of food. We can eat fish there, we can eat saji and chicken items as well.